Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that many people struggle with, being alone. In a world that constantly tells us we need someone else to be happy, learning to be happy alone is a powerful skill. It's not about isolation, it's about self-discovery, peace, and personal growth. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with being alone is that they haven't developed a strong sense of self-love. Many of us grow up believing that happiness comes from external sources, relationships, friendships, achievements, or material success. While these things can bring temporary joy, true and lasting happiness comes from within. It begins with learning to love, accept, and appreciate ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. Self-love is not about arrogance or thinking we are better than others. Instead, it is about recognizing our worth, treating ourselves with kindness, and understanding that we deserve happiness just as much as anyone else. When we lack self-love, we may seek validation from others, relying on their approval to feel good about ourselves. This dependence can create emotional instability because our happiness becomes tied to how others treat us. To cultivate self-love, we need to develop self-awareness. This means understanding our strengths and weaknesses, embracing our imperfections, and being patient with ourselves as we grow. Nobody is perfect, and self-love means accepting our flaws without harsh self-judgment. It also involves speaking to ourselves with kindness, just as we would with a close friend. Instead of criticizing ourselves for our mistakes, we should acknowledge them, learn from them, and move forward with self-compassion. Another essential aspect of self-love is setting boundaries. When we truly love ourselves, we protect our mental and emotional well-being. This means saying no to toxic relationships, avoiding situations that drain our energy, and prioritizing our own needs without feeling guilty. Too often, people stay in unhealthy relationships or friendships because they fear being alone. But when we love ourselves, we understand that our peace and happiness are more important than staying in situations that do not serve us. Taking care of our physical, mental, and emotional health is also a form of self-love. This includes eating well, exercising, getting enough rest, and engaging in activities that bring us joy. It also means being mindful of our thoughts and emotions, avoiding negative self-talk, and practicing gratitude. When we nurture ourselves, we build a strong foundation for happiness that is independent of anyone else. Self-love is a journey, not a destination. It requires continuous effort, self-reflection, and patience. The more we practice self-love, the more confident and content we become in our own company. Instead of fearing solitude, we begin to cherish it as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. When we love ourselves fully, we no longer feel the need to seek happiness elsewhere because we realize that we are enough just as we are. One of the biggest misconceptions about being alone is that it equates to loneliness. However, there is a significant difference between solitude and loneliness. Loneliness is the feeling of being disconnected or longing for company, whereas solitude is the ability to enjoy your own presence without needing external validation. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you unlock a world of personal freedom, self-discovery, and inner peace. Many people struggle with being alone because they are not used to it. From childhood, we are often surrounded by family, friends, and social interactions, and we grow up believing that constant engagement with others is necessary for happiness. This belief can make alone time feel uncomfortable, even scary. But the truth is, learning to be content with yourself is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. It allows you to build a stronger sense of self, reduces emotional dependence on others, and helps you develop a deeper understanding of what truly makes you happy. To start enjoying your own company, engage in activities that bring you joy. Spend time doing things that make you feel fulfilled without needing anyone else's involvement. Whether it's reading a book, painting, writing, meditating, or even taking a solo trip, these activities help you appreciate the time you spend with yourself. Find hobbies that excite you, explore your interests, and use your alone time as an opportunity to grow and learn. Another important step is shifting your mindset about being alone. Instead of seeing solitude as a negative experience, view it as a chance to recharge and reflect. When you are constantly surrounded by people, it can be difficult to hear your own thoughts and understand your emotions. Alone time allows you to process your experiences, reflect on your goals, and gain clarity about your life's direction. It gives you the space to think deeply without distractions and make decisions that are truly aligned with your desires. Spending time alone also improves your relationship with yourself. Often people avoid being alone because they don't like facing their own thoughts. They fill their lives with distractions, social media, TV, parties, just to avoid silence. But when you learn to be comfortable in your own presence, you begin to develop self-acceptance. You realize that you don't need constant social interaction to feel happy. Instead, you find joy in simple moments, taking a quiet walk in nature, sitting in a cozy cafe with a cup of coffee, or simply enjoying the stillness of your home. Additionally, enjoying your own company makes your relationships with others healthier. When you are secure in yourself and content with your solitude, you no longer seek out company out of desperation or fear of being alone. Instead, you choose to spend time with others because you genuinely want to, not because you feel like you need to. This leads to stronger, more authentic connections, where you are with people out of love and appreciation, not out of dependency. Ultimately, learning to enjoy your own company is about finding happiness within yourself. When you can sit alone in silence and still feel fulfilled, you realize that your happiness was never meant to come from external sources. It was always inside you, waiting to be embraced. Many of the greatest minds in history, artists, writers, philosophers, and inventors, have emphasized the importance of solitude in personal growth. Being alone isn't just about enjoying your own company. It's about using that time to develop yourself, expand your knowledge, and reflect on your life. When you are constantly surrounded by people, conversations, and distractions, it becomes difficult to focus on your inner world. But in solitude, you have the freedom to explore your thoughts, emotions, and aspirations without external influence. One of the biggest benefits of spending time alone is self-reflection. In today's fast-paced world, we rarely take time to pause and evaluate our lives. We move from one task to another, always busy, but never truly thinking about where we are heading. Solitude provides the perfect opportunity to ask important questions. Am I happy with my current? What are my true passions? What changes do I need to make to grow? These deep reflections allow you to gain a better understanding of yourself and your life's direction. Another way solitude fuels personal growth is by enhancing creativity and problem-solving skills. Many creative breakthroughs and innovative ideas happen when people are alone. This is because solitude allows your mind to wander freely without distractions. When you have time to think deeply, you start seeing connections between ideas, developing new perspectives, and coming up with solutions to problems that seemed impossible before. That's why many writers, musicians, and entrepreneurs value alone time. It gives them the space to create and innovate. Personal growth also involves learning new skills and gaining knowledge, and being alone gives you the perfect environment to do this. Whether you want to learn a new language, pick up a musical instrument, improve your fitness, or develop a professional skill, solitude allows you to focus entirely on your progress without outside distractions. You can dedicate time to reading, taking online courses, practicing a craft, or engaging in self-improvement activities that help you grow mentally, emotionally, and physically. Beyond skills and knowledge, solitude helps you develop emotional resilience. Many people rely on others for emotional support, which is important, but it's also essential to be able to process emotions on your own. When you spend time alone, you learn to sit with your thoughts and feelings, work through them, and develop inner strength. Instead of seeking constant reassurance from others, you build confidence in your ability to handle challenges independently. Another crucial aspect of personal growth is setting goals and taking action. When you are alone, you can think clearly about what you want in life, set meaningful goals, and develop a plan to achieve them. Without the noise of other people's opinions and societal expectations, you can focus on your true aspirations. Solitude gives you the chance to visualize your future, plan your next steps, and take action toward becoming the best version of yourself. In group settings, people often adjust their behavior to fit in or meet social expectations. But when you're alone, you can truly be yourself without pressure or influence. This helps you become more authentic, build self-confidence, and develop a deeper understanding of what genuinely makes you happy. Instead of living according to what others expect, you start living according to your own values and desires. Personal growth is a lifelong journey, and solitude is one of its most powerful tools. The more time you invest in yourself, the more you evolve into the person you are meant to be. Whether it's through self-reflection, skill building, emotional resilience, or creative exploration, solitude provides the space you need to grow, improve, and reach your full potential. One of the most important steps toward lasting happiness is finding inner peace and becoming emotionally independent. Many people unknowingly tie their emotions to external factors: relationships, career success, social approval, or material possessions. While these things can bring temporary joy, they are unreliable sources of happiness because they are constantly changing. True inner peace comes when your emotions are not controlled by external circumstances but are instead rooted in self-awareness, self-acceptance, and emotional resilience. Understanding inner peace. Inner peace is a state of calmness, self-acceptance, and contentment regardless of what is happening around you. It does not mean avoiding challenges or never feeling negative emotions. Instead, it means developing the ability to remain stable, composed, and centered, even in difficult situations. When you have inner peace, you are not easily shaken by criticism, failure, or setbacks, because your sense of self-worth comes from within, not from external validation. To cultivate inner peace, it is essential to practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Mindfulness helps you stay present in the moment instead of worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. When you are fully present, you can observe your thoughts and emotions without reacting impulsively. Instead of allowing stress, anger, or sadness to control you, you develop the ability to acknowledge these emotions, process them, and let them pass without letting them consume you. Developing emotional independence. Many people believe that happiness comes from relationships, friendships, or social interactions. While meaningful connections are important, relying on others to regulate your emotions can lead to disappointment and dependency. Emotional independence means that your happiness and emotional well-being are not entirely dependent on someone else's presence or approval. It means you can enjoy companionship but do not need it to feel complete. One way to develop emotional independence is by practicing self-validation. Instead of constantly seeking reassurance from others, learn to validate your own emotions, thoughts, and decisions. Trust yourself and your ability to handle situations without always needing advice or approval. When you build this confidence, you become less affected by other people's opinions and more in tune with your inner voice. Another important aspect of emotional independence is setting and respecting boundaries. Many people struggle with saying no, fearing they will disappoint others or be seen as selfish. However, protecting your peace requires setting limits on what you are willing to tolerate. Whether it's in relationships, friendships, or work, having healthy boundaries ensures that you do not sacrifice your mental and emotional well-being to please others. Letting go of external control. A major obstacle to inner peace is the habit of trying to control everything, especially external circumstances and other people's actions. The truth is, we cannot control everything that happens in life, but we can control how we respond to it. Letting go of the need to control allows you to focus on what truly matters: your thoughts, actions, and mindset. For example, if someone criticizes you unfairly, you have a choice. You can react with anger and frustration, or you can choose to remain calm, understand that their opinion does not define you, and move forward without letting it affect your peace. Similarly, if things don't go as planned, instead of stressing over what went wrong, you can adapt, find solutions, and maintain your inner balance. A powerful way to strengthen emotional independence is by practicing gratitude and acceptance. When you learn to appreciate what you have instead of constantly chasing what you lack, you shift your mindset from dissatisfaction to contentment. Acceptance does not mean giving up on improvement. It means making peace with the present moment while working toward a better future. Building a strong relationship with yourself. The more you nurture self-love and self-respect, the less you need external sources to feel happy or fulfilled. Spend time getting to know yourself, your passions, values, strengths, and areas for growth. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment without depending on others for entertainment or distraction. When you become emotionally independent, you no longer fear solitude. Instead, you embrace it as an opportunity for self-discovery and growth. You realize that happiness does not come from outside sources but from within. This shift in perspective frees you from emotional ups and downs caused by external factors, allowing you to live a more peaceful and balanced life. Many people spend their lives focusing on building relationships with others, family, friends, romantic partners, and colleagues, while neglecting the most important relationship of all, the one with themselves. Just like any other meaningful connection, your relationship with yourself requires time, effort, and care. When you develop a strong bond with yourself, you cultivate self-love, self-trust, and self-respect, which ultimately lead to greater happiness and fulfillment. Understanding yourself on a deeper level, the first step in building a strong relationship with yourself is self-awareness. Many people go through life without truly understanding who they are, what they want, or what makes them happy. Taking time to reflect on your values, beliefs, and passions allows you to gain a clearer sense of identity. Ask yourself important questions. What do I genuinely enjoy doing? What are my strengths and weaknesses? What kind of life do I truly want to live? What are my biggest fears and how can I overcome them? When you know yourself well, you make decisions that align with your true desires instead of following societal expectations or seeking approval from others. This deep self-awareness fosters confidence and clarity in life. Practice self-care and prioritize your well-being. A strong relationship with yourself means treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and respect that you would offer to a loved one. Self-care is not just about spa days or treating yourself to nice things. It's about prioritizing your physical, mental, and emotional well-being on a daily basis. Physical self-care. Eat nutritious foods, exercise regularly, get enough rest, and listen to your body's needs. Your physical health has a direct impact on your mental and emotional state. Mental self-care. Feed your mind with positive and meaningful content. Read books, learn new skills, engage in creative activities, and avoid excessive exposure to negativity such as toxic news or harmful social media comparisons. Emotional self-care. Allow yourself to feel emotions without judgment. If you're sad, let yourself grieve. If you're happy, embrace joy without guilt. Journaling, meditation, and mindfulness practices can help you process emotions in a healthy way. When you consistently take care of yourself, you send a message to your subconscious that you are valuable and deserving of love and care. Be your own best friend. We often seek love, encouragement, and support from others, but imagine how much stronger you would be if you provided those things for yourself. Being your own best friend means treating yourself with compassion instead of self-criticism. Think about how you talk to yourself when you make a mistake. Do you immediately criticize yourself and feel ashamed, or do you acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and move forward with self-compassion? Developing a positive inner dialogue is essential for building self-esteem. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement that you would offer to a friend. Spending quality time alone is also a great way to strengthen your relationship with yourself. Take yourself on a solo date, travel alone, enjoy a quiet evening doing something you love, or simply sit with your thoughts without distractions. The more comfortable you become in your own presence, the less you will feel the need to seek validation from others. Trust yourself and honor your own needs. Building a strong relationship with yourself also involves self-trust. Many people struggle with decision-making because they doubt themselves or rely too much on others for guidance. While seeking advice can be helpful, constantly looking for external validation can weaken your ability to trust your own instincts. Start by making small decisions independently and standing by them. Whether it's choosing what to wear, where to go, or how to spend your time, practice listening to your intuition. The more you trust yourself, the more confident and empowered you will feel in making bigger life choices. Additionally, honoring your needs means setting boundaries and saying no when necessary. People who have a weak relationship with themselves often overextend themselves to please others, even at the expense of their own well-being. Learn to recognize when you need rest, space, or alone time, and don't be afraid to communicate those needs. Let go of self-judgment and embrace self-acceptance. No one is perfect, and trying to live up to unrealistic expectations will only create frustration and self-doubt. A strong relationship with yourself means embracing who you are, flaws and all. Instead of being overly critical of your mistakes or weaknesses, acknowledge them as part of your growth journey. Self-acceptance does not mean settling or refusing to improve. It means recognizing your worth regardless of your imperfections. When you fully accept yourself, you become more resilient to outside opinions and less affected by criticism. You stop comparing yourself to others and start appreciating your unique journey. Find purpose and live authentically. A strong connection with yourself also comes from living with purpose, and when you pursue goals and dreams that are genuinely meaningful to you, rather than following what society expects, you experience greater fulfillment. Align your actions with your values and passions, and don't be afraid to follow a path that feels right for you, even if it's different from what others are doing. Living authentically means expressing yourself honestly, embracing your individuality, and making choices that bring you joy. When you stop pretending to be someone you're not and start living in alignment with your true self, you naturally build confidence and inner peace. A strong relationship with yourself is the foundation for a happy and fulfilling life. The more you nurture this relationship, the more independent, confident, and content you become. You start relying on yourself for happiness instead of looking for it in external sources. You realize that you are enough just as you are, and that true happiness comes from within. In life, we spend so much time and effort building relationships with others, friends, family, colleagues, and romantic partners. We seek companionship, validation, and support from external sources, often forgetting that the most important relationship we will ever have is the one with ourselves. A strong relationship with yourself is the foundation for confidence, self-love, and inner happiness. Without it, you may constantly seek approval from others, feel lost without companionship, and struggle with self-worth. When you have a solid connection with yourself, you develop a deep understanding of who you are, what you value, and what truly makes you happy. You stop looking for external validation and instead find peace and fulfillment within. This allows you to live authentically, make better life choices, and build a fulfilling and independent life. Understanding yourself on a deeper level Building a strong relationship with yourself begins with self-awareness. Many people go through life following routines and expectations without truly understanding who they are or what they want. They may follow paths laid out by society, family, or peer pressure without questioning if those choices align with their true desires. Self-awareness means taking the time to reflect on your personality, strengths, weaknesses, values, and aspirations. Ask yourself deep and meaningful questions. What are my core values, and am I living in alignment with them? What activities bring me true joy, not just momentary pleasure? What kind of life do I want to create for myself? What are my biggest fears, and how can I work through them? What unhealthy patterns or limiting beliefs am I holding on to? Journaling, meditation, and self-reflection exercises can help you explore these questions. The more you understand yourself, the easier it becomes to make decisions that align with your true self rather than making choices based on fear, pressure, or societal expectations. Practice self-care and prioritize your well-being. A strong relationship with yourself means recognizing your own needs and making sure they are met. Self-care is not just about pampering yourself occasionally. It is about consistently prioritizing your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Physical self-care. Your body is the vessel that carries you through life, and taking care of it should be a top priority. Eating nourishing foods, exercising regularly, staying hydrated, and getting enough sleep are all essential aspects of self-care. When you feel good physically, your mental and emotional state improves as well. Emotional self-care. Give yourself permission to feel your emotions without judgment. Many people suppress their feelings, thinking that ignoring them will make them disappear. In reality, unprocessed emotions build up over time, leading to stress and anxiety. Find healthy outlets to express yourself, whether through journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or engaging in creative activities. Mental self-care. Protect your mental space by limiting exposure to negativity. This includes toxic relationships, excessive social media consumption, and self-destructive thought patterns. Surround yourself with positivity, whether through books, podcasts, nature, or meaningful conversations. When you make self-care a priority, you reinforce the idea that you are valuable and worthy of care. This strengthens your relationship with yourself and boosts your overall happiness. Be your own best friend. We often expect love, encouragement, and support from others, but what if we could provide those things for ourselves? Being your own best friend means treating yourself with the same kindness, patience, and understanding that you would offer to someone you love. One of the most damaging habits we develop is negative self-talk. We criticize ourselves, compare ourselves to others, and focus on our flaws instead of our strengths. Imagine if you spoke to your best friend the way you sometimes speak to yourself. Would they feel loved and supported? Probably not. To strengthen your relationship with yourself, practice self-compassion. When you make a mistake, instead of harshly criticizing yourself, offer yourself words of encouragement. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm learning and growing. I am doing my best, and that is enough. I am worthy of love and respect regardless of my imperfections. Another way to be your own best friend is to enjoy your own company. Many people feel uncomfortable spending time alone, but solitude can be incredibly fulfilling when you learn to embrace it. Take yourself on solo dates, travel alone, or engage in hobbies that you love. When you enjoy your own presence, you no longer feel the need to seek constant companionship, which leads to greater independence and self-sufficiency. Trust yourself and honor your own needs. Self-trust is an essential part of building a strong relationship with yourself. Many people struggle with making decisions because they fear making the wrong choice. They constantly seek advice from others, second-guess themselves, and hesitate to take action. While it's okay to seek guidance, relying too much on external opinions can weaken your ability to trust your own instincts. To build self-trust, start making decisions on your own, big or small, whether it's choosing what to eat, what career path to follow, or how to spend your free time. Trust that you are capable of making choices that serve you well. The more you practice trusting yourself, the more confident you will become in your ability to navigate life independently. Honoring your needs also means setting boundaries. If you constantly put others' needs ahead of your own, you may end up feeling drained and resentful. Learn to say no when something doesn't align with your values or energy levels. Protect your time, space, and emotional well-being by establishing boundaries in relationships, work, and social interactions. Let go of self-judgment and embrace self-acceptance. A strong relationship with yourself also involves self-acceptance. Many people struggle with feelings of unworthiness because they believe they need to be perfect in order to be loved or respected. However, perfection is an illusion. No one is flawless, and trying to be will only lead to frustration and self-doubt. Self-acceptance means embracing all parts of yourself, including your imperfections. It means recognizing that your mistakes do not define you and that growth is a continuous journey. Instead of being harsh on yourself for past failures, view them as lessons that have shaped you into the person you are today. It also means letting go of the habit of comparing yourself to others. Everyone is on a different journey, and measuring your success based on someone else's timeline will only make you feel inadequate. Instead, focus on your own growth and progress, no matter how small. Find purpose and live authentically. When you have a strong relationship with yourself, you start living with more authenticity. You stop trying to fit into societal molds and instead embrace your true self. You pursue goals and dreams that genuinely excite you rather than following paths that others expect you to take. Living authentically means expressing yourself honestly, making choices that align with your values, and embracing your individuality. It means being unapologetically yourself, without worrying about what others think. Having a sense of purpose also strengthens your relationship with yourself. When you have clear goals and a vision for your life, you feel more fulfilled and motivated. Whether your purpose is to create, help others, explore the world, or simply live a peaceful and meaningful life, knowing what drives you gives you a sense of direction. A strong relationship with yourself is the key to lasting happiness. The more you nurture this connection, the more independent, confident, and content you become. You start relying on yourself for love and fulfillment rather than seeking it from external sources. You realize that you are enough just as you are, and that true happiness comes from within. But one of the most fulfilling ways to cultivate happiness while being alone is to discover and pursue your passion. Passion gives life meaning, provides a sense of purpose, and fills your time with activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. When you have something you love doing, being alone no longer feels empty or boring. It becomes an opportunity to engage in what excites you, challenges you, and makes you feel alive. Many people go through life following routines dictated by work, responsibilities, and societal expectations, often neglecting their own interests and passions. They prioritize external achievements over personal fulfillment, only to realize later that they feel unfulfilled despite their success. Discovering and pursuing your passions helps you break free from this cycle and allows you to find joy in everyday life, independent of other people's presence. Exploring what truly excites you, discovering your passions requires self-exploration. Some people already know what they love, while others need time and experimentation to find what truly excites them. If you're unsure about your passions, ask yourself, what activities make me lose track of time? What hobbies or subjects have always fascinated me? What kind of work would I do even if I wasn't paid for it? When do I feel the most alive and fulfilled? What childhood interests have I forgotten or abandoned over time? Sometimes our passions are buried beneath obligations, fear of failure, or the pressure to follow a more practical path. Reconnecting with childhood interests, trying new activities, and stepping out of your comfort zone can help you uncover what truly brings you joy. Embracing creativity and self-expression, pursuing passion often involves creativity and self-expression, whether through art, music, writing, sports, cooking, or any other creative outlet. Engaging in creative activities provides a healthy way to process emotions, express thoughts, and bring ideas to life. Creativity is not limited to traditional art forms. It can be found in problem solving, innovation, and even the way you design your daily routine. Creativity also helps you connect with yourself on a deeper level. When you engage in a creative process, you are in tune with your thoughts, emotions, and imagination. This deep connection fosters self-awareness and enhances your ability to find happiness within yourself rather than relying on external sources for validation. Turning passion into a daily habit. Many people make the mistake of thinking that passion is something to be pursued only when they have extra time. However, waiting for the perfect moment to pursue what you love will only lead to procrastination and missed opportunities. Instead, integrate your passions into your daily life. Dedicate a specific time each day or week to your passion. Set goals related to your interest, whether it's writing a book, learning an instrument, or improving a skill. Treat your passion as a priority, not just a side activity. Making time for what you love, even if it's just for 30 minutes a day, will bring a sense of fulfillment and motivation to your life. Using passion as a source of growth and self-discovery. Pursuing passion is not just about enjoyment, it's also a journey of growth and self-discovery. When you dedicate yourself to something you love, you naturally push yourself to improve, learn, and evolve. This process helps you build discipline, patience, and resilience. For example, if your passion is painting, you may start by experimenting with colors and techniques. Over time, you will develop your unique style, overcome creative blocks, and gain confidence in your abilities. Similarly, if you are passionate about fitness, you'll experience physical and mental transformation as you push your limits and achieve new milestones. Challenges are a natural part of pursuing passion. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. The journey itself, filled with learning, practice, and persistence, is what makes passion meaningful. Finding purpose and fulfillment. Passion is closely tied to purpose. When you do something that excites you, you feel a sense of meaning in your life. This purpose-driven mindset gives you motivation and direction, making each day more fulfilling. Your passion doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just needs to be something that brings you joy. Some people find purpose in creating art, while others find it in helping others, traveling, exploring nature, or working toward personal goals. Whatever your passion may be, embracing it adds depth and richness to your life. Pursuing your passion can also open new doors. What starts as a simple hobby may evolve into a career, a business, or a lifelong mission. When you commit to what you love, opportunities often arise in unexpected ways. Finding joy in solitude through passion. One of the biggest advantages of having a passion is that it makes solitude enjoyable. When you are deeply engaged in something you love, you don't feel lonely. You feel fulfilled. Passion allows you to enjoy your own company, appreciate alone time, and see it as an opportunity rather than a burden. Many people struggle with being alone because they haven't found something that excites them. When you have a passion, alone time transforms into a chance to create, explore, and grow. Instead of feeling the need to fill empty spaces with distractions or social interactions, you embrace solitude as a valuable time for self-improvement and happiness. Pursuing passion is not just a way to pass time, it's a way to enrich your life, discover new aspects of yourself, and cultivate happiness from within. Learning to be happy alone is not about isolating yourself from the world, it is about developing a deep and fulfilling connection with yourself. When you embrace solitude, build self-confidence, cultivate self-love, and pursue your passions, you create a life where happiness is not dependent on external factors. You begin to see solitude not as loneliness, but as an opportunity to grow, reflect, and truly understand yourself. Happiness is an inside job. It is not found in other people, material possessions, or external achievements. It is something you create within. When you develop the ability to find joy in your own presence, you unlock a powerful source of inner peace and contentment that no one can take away. So take this journey with an open heart. Invest in yourself. embrace your individuality, and discover what truly makes you happy. The more you nurture your relationship with yourself, the more fulfilled, confident, and self-sufficient you will become. In the end, learning to be happy alone is not just about solitude. It is about building a life that feels complete, whether you are with others or by yourself.